Okay, well, I can't hear
Hi, this is Colette from Community Connection on the platform of Talk a D Town Radio Vision. Now, if you do not have if you don't have like social media, go to the Talk of the Town app and you can catch all of the shows that Talk of the Town will have, and it'll be absolutely amazing. Today, we have a house packed full with guests, and we're going to be interviewing them and we're going to be getting their perspectives, see what they're doing, catch up in their lives, and at the same time, give you impetus to better yourself, better your lives, and figure out and maybe become a part of what each of our guests are doing. At this time, we would like to bring up Mr. Shura. He's one of our special guests for the evening, Mr. Shura Khan. Mr. Shura Khan, if you could please come up. If Mr. Randy Braz could please come up. And if Miss Odetta King could please come up, it would be much appreciated. We will be making sure that each of you gets to tell your story. Thank you, Shura. Hi. So, as you can see, to my left and to your right, we have Randy Braz. We want to welcome him to the show.
Please be here.
You don't have a microphone. All right. Say hello.
Hey, how you doing?
They need to hear his voice. Beautiful voice, correct? This gentleman is from where? I believe a country that we may all know and love. Where is that?
Guyana.
Okay. What part of Guyana, sir?
Well, my parents. My parents are from Georgetown and Berbice.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. If you could pass the mic down until you get your mic to Miss Odetta King. Miss Odetta King, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm also from Guyana, Georgetown, Isla Penitence. Didn't know that.
Wow, look at the guy, and he's in the house. And then all the way to my far left, but your far right, Mr. Shura Khan. Mr. Shura Khan, if you could please, thank you. If you could please introduce yourself. This man, and I'm going to tell you, this man is an amazing man. He's been in the industry for 30 plus years, and he's getting ready to tell you some things about what's happening in the industry and his projects that he's involved in.
If you want me
If
to
you could
resume,
please
since I couldn't make the
tell
statement.
us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yes, my name is Shura Khan. I'm right here from USA, Brooklyn, New York, born and raised.
Brooklyn.
I grew up in Williamsburg, in the Williamsburg section of
because she
Brooklyn.
be able to hear you.
And I think one of the most amazing things about Mr. Shura Khan that he is a very humble man, but he has his own production company. Sir,
I don't think
tell
it's
us
all
about that.
because
As you said, I've been in the industry for over 30 years, really working hard. You know, you got to have a certain kind of staying power to survive in the entertainment industry. And I just did a new pilot television series called The Chambers. And it has won 34 awards in the last 8 weeks throughout on the festival circuit. Thank you.
Well done, well done, well done. Well done, sir.
I think it's different. That's why I believe it's getting a lot of the attention. I have to say that, you know, the show is inspired by television series like The West Wing, House of Cards, Madam Secretary, those political drama shows. And when I used to watch those shows, I would say they need to do something like that from the judiciary side of things. And I used to say they should do something like that from the judiciary side of things. And then I said, hey, why not create it yourself? You're a television creator. So I'm inspired by writers like Aaron Sorkin, who's actually responsible for the NBC show The West Wing. So yeah, we did one on the judiciary side of things, and no one ever really sees what happens behind the walls of the courtroom. You always see the court, the lawyer, the defendant, the stenographer. What goes on when they go behind those walls? There's a whole world back there.
Yes.
Law clerks, attorneys, media relations officers, political advisors, the judge, his senior staff, his chief of staff. So I kind of show all of that in motion. Jury coordinators, you get to see all of how that operation functions back there with interesting stories, you know, about different topics, stress management, how they deal with anger management, stress management, all the things that they have to go through on a daily basis. You get to see it unfold in the chambers. Sura Khan's The Chambers, that's what we call it. I get that from Tyler Perry. I get it from Alfred Hitchcock because I'm a brand. So when you see the name Sura Khan over a title, you will say, okay, I know I'm getting ready to get something good.
You're going to get quality. And I thought that was brilliant. And in fact, we have, because we were there for the premiere,
yes.
Michael and I, this is the premiere of it. And let me tell you, it's absolutely brilliant. And this is what we were given. These were the programs that were there. And you have to understand that this cost right here costs a lot of money because of the advertising that's in there and all the advertising money that went into this. And we just want to say thank you again, Sura Khan.
And it was all free.
It was.
Even admission, everything.
Yes, it was. And the thing is, what is amazing is that it was done in Manhattan, in not downtown, but getting close to Midtown.
AMC Theaters, a major chain on 34th Street, across the street from Madison Square Garden.
What are we talking about? We're talking about location, location, location. And what is even more amazing is the fact that when you are dealing with a brand, and Sura Khan is now his own brand, just like Tyler Perry is his own brand, pretty soon we might be seeing buildings going up.
Oh, absolutely.
For like a studio.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Who knows? But we are not going away from Sura Khan. We're not going to leave it there, but that's a teaser. We're going to let you know also about Miss Odetta King and what she is doing in financial planning. These are all things that we need in our lives, and we don't realize how much we need it in our lives. So at this time, Miss Odetta King.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello? Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you. Where do I go?
I don't know. Tell them a little bit about you are considered this. What is it about this? A book that I've heard, maybe or two?
Yes. So as I stated earlier, I am Guyanese born. I came to the States about 20-something years ago. And, some of us were just naturally good with certain things, right? So for me, growing up, it has always been saving money. I love saving money. I check my statements almost every day, making sure I'm stacking these coins. And within the last 10 years or so, I found that a lot of people would always come to me for advice or on money matters. So I was already on social media doing live stream, giving people tips on how to save and grow their money. But fast forward about 5 years ago, I'm also a business professor in finance. And
When it comes to retirement planning, there are three kinds of people.
The guy who doesn't think about or plan for retirement, you don't want to be that. The gambler type who feels the only way to grow her money is to risk losing it all in the stock market, and the play it safe type who shudders at the thought of losing a single penny of his savings, even if it means sacrificing any opportunity for that money to grow. For years, retirement planning has been vastly limited to choices that fall on one side of the scale or the other. And so, money-savvy people tend to invest in 2, 3, 14, 50 different products in an attempt to balance the scale. But what if there was a way to capture the upside potential of a risky product and the downside protection of a secure product all in one solution? Well, hold on to your potatoes. Let's talk about IUL. Index Universal Life can harness the best parts of both sides of the financial seesaw. IUL is a form of permanent life insurance that, whoa, hang on. Life insurance has changed in the last 20 years. You know it is something that just pays out when you die. But these days, life insurance can actually be one of the most powerful wealth accumulating vehicles on the market. One huge benefit of IUL is the ability to harness the power of compound interest to potentially generate large amounts of non-taxable cash value within the policy. This cash value can be accessed.
It's coming to. Are you a doctor?
No.
Okay, Miss Odetta King. So the next person here is Randy Braz. And Randy Braz has a management company. Come on, Randy. How did we meet?
So we met maybe 10 years ago, volunteering at a food pantry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. Yes, we did. And we kept on saying, oh, we're going to get in contact. We're going to get in contact with each other. And we did, and then we lost. Then we did, and then we lost. And then one day.
Random bumps in the street.
One day.
Downtown Brooklyn by the park.
Yes, we were walking. I'm going in one direction. He's going in the other. And I said, he looks familiar. I don't know what he said. What did you say? I don't know.
I was like, Colette?
I said, yes. And then it took me a minute
Yes,
because
it
you
did.
know you have that New York stare, and it's your mind is
gave me the
elsewhere,
stare.
and I just almost I was speechless. I was stuttering basically. I was like, Randy, what are you doing here in all the places? And then we reconnected. But you know, you were talking about what you do before, so tell them what you do, Randy.
What do I do? So at this time,
Management.
I run my own company called Black Phoenix Management Group. And what it is a subscription-based think tank to source, vet, and develop ideas within our own community. So I like to consider it like Netflix for business. You know, in our community, we don't have the resources to develop businesses the way we would like to in the beginning, right? We normally start businesses without paychecks. We have to work our way up. And so I used to go to these pitch events where I'm listening to people pitch their ideas. And, you know, you would hear them saying, you know, that through friends and family, they raised $250,000. And I'm like, that's not happening with us. So decided to start my company where we could provide the resources, not just on a financial scope, but also the resources, like leveraging our human capital to help us develop ideas, right? So you might have somebody who's a visionary, but not necessarily have the skills, right? So you partner them up with somebody so that if, like, for example, I might have an idea for a movie, I don't have the skill sets for that. So I'm going to come to you, my brother, and work with you and build a foundation around my idea.
Right.
And then provide the funding through the money we collect on a monthly basis. And then through that, whatever successful ideas we have, our members receive a revenue share. So primarily we've been focusing on real estate, right? And now we're expanding into the business model.
Well, real estate where perhaps, Randy?
Primarily in Detroit, right? Primarily we've been focused on developing in Detroit, but right now we're looking at other cities such as Baltimore, Philly. There's one city that I can't talk about right now.
Okay.
But it's definitely an historical black city that we're talking with city planners and the mayor about helping them to come back up. So it's some exciting stuff.
And perhaps internationally.
Well, yes. So I started going to South Africa in 2017, and I was back and forth 3 to 4 times a year because I fell in love with that country. And just building relationships over there and looking to not just purchase real estate, but also looking at how we can export products from there, right? Because, it's a vast continent, and there's so many resources that we should be utilizing us as Black people over there, right? Combining us and them could be something very beautiful, right? So right now, our focus has been in South Africa, but, going to Rwanda right now, have relationships in Zimbabwe. I'm actually flying out there this Thursday. So I'll be in South Africa and Zanzibar for about 11 days, looking to build some more connections as well. So yeah.
Big things are happening.
Big things.
So that's just a little tip of the iceberg. And we wonder why that is important, because as Black people, do we see enough role models that are not even role playing, that are doing the business of business? We don't. And because we do not, we need to see more of them. And just from the panel right here, this is a lot. But I believe that Ed Papers is in the building. Ed? Hello? Okay, we'll wait until... You have to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. That's it.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. I can't see you.
Okay, just a moment. He is getting ready to. You have to turn off your phone, I believe. I think you have your phone and your computer on. I think your phone might be a little bit too close.
I thought I was looking at the panel. What happened?
Huh?
Okay, I can see you now.
Okay, awesome. So why is it important?
It's not going well.
Okay, so
I'm hearing static. I don't know if that's me or you.
Paul, if you are on the phone and by a computer, one of them, you have to turn down the volume. Okay, awesome. All right.
Okay.
Ed, how you doing?
Yes, I'm here. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a minute. I want to go straight to one of the how I met you. A day that you actually have on the calendar that starts with an H.
Okay.
I need you to talk about that, Ed, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. So what did you put on the calendar, Ed, that starts the day that starts with an H?
Well, about 6 years ago, I decided that, all of us as working people just needed a break during the week. So I came up with this idea to play hooky. So what happens is, I picked a day. The first time I started this happened, like I said, about 6 years ago. And no, it was 5 years ago. Stand corrected. And then I picked a day, and what we do was we go, we listen to music, we just pretty much have one big barbecue for the day. And the first year that I did it, like I said, it was just an idea. I got an incredible buzz. The second year, it got a little crazy. The third year, same thing. By the third year, I had to move from the venue that I was at, which was at City Island. And I took it to a huge field over by the Whitestone Bridge, which is called Ferry Point Park. And by the fourth year, I had about, I would say maybe about 1,000 people plus to come out for my hooky day.
That is amazing. You get a hand clap for this. I wasn't hand clapping everybody, but I'm going to let you know that each of them are going to get a hand clap just because I was so enthralled with the stories that I actually did not do that. And I want to say that between Randy and Odetta, they have some hand claps coming. I think Shira Khan had a hand clap. And now you, Ed. I love that because I was there at the third year. And it was still at City Island. And I was
Okay.
like, this is so smart. Did you actually get it be put on the calendar? Is an actual?
No, actually, didn't get to put it on the calendar because what I did was I usually do it the week before Memorial Weekend, which I basically start off the summer with the incredible barbecue that I do. I kind of start that off. I kind of start the summer off when after the winter and everybody gets depressed and everybody's ready to come back out. Here I am the last week before Memorial Weekend. Here comes Hooky Day and everybody's waiting.
Yeah, there was quite a few people. It got real crowded real fast. I thought that what was amazing as well, you're a promoter as well, aren't you, Ed? And where were you born originally?
Born and raised in the Bronx.
Okay, I'm hearing it. And
yes.
So you came up with another day, I believe. Tell us about that day.
Well, let's see. Aside Hooky Day that I do Hooky. I have a Hooky Day weekend, which I started last year. Which I had about 50 of us. We went out to Tampa. A lot of people always go to Miami Beach, but they never really explored the entire state of Florida. So I took them to the west coast of Florida. And we had this thing, which I started last year, which is Hooky Day weekend, and it was in Tampa, Florida, and it was incredible.
Well, that is incredible, and Ed has a whole bunch more that we're going to be talking about, but we want to give the international spotlight on Oyo Paul. If Oyo Paul could be let into the room, because in Uganda it is 8 hours. It's all right. We're gonna have to. Oyo, I'm gonna give you a number to call in. If you can you speak? Can he speak?
Hello.
Hi, Oyo.
Hi, Colin.
How are you? It's been a minute. I have not. We have been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah.
I know it is.
I'm glad this time I've managed.
He is in Uganda.
What is this? Hello.
Oh, okay. Let me tell him what to do.
Hello.
Michael, if you could please put him back on.
Hello.
Hi, Oyo. I know it's very late where you are. It's probably almost 4 o'clock there, or it is 4 o'clock. So we don't know. Do you know why your side? Actually, it's quiet now.
Hello.
Okay. Can speak, Oyo? Let's see if we can hear you. Unmute your mic. Okay, then I need to tell him. So Oyo, can you call off of WhatsApp? Can you call off of WhatsApp 607?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can call you on WhatsApp.
All right. Oyo, because you have made the effort, I can't see it's right in the middle. 607-484-7887. Please call in and we will pick up for you. I'm hoping and praying that you can call. So call, if you have to call using WhatsApp, please do so, because it's making a lot of noise, and unfortunately, we're not hearing you as clearly as we would like to. So, all right. At this time, I believe that we may have, do we have any more guests on Zoom? All right. All right. Jason, I'll put you up in a minute. I'll let you get yourself. All right. Thank you, Jason. Okay. Jason Frazier is in the building, and he's coming also, I believe, from the Bronx, and came all that way, and he'll be coming up here shortly. He has reasons why many of our children are not doing well in school. He used to work with the Department of oh, wow, in the name. Oyo? Oh my God. He's calling me on this thing, and I do not have this. Hi. So I got to let him know that unfortunately, he had, Mike, give me your number so that he can call you on your phone. All right. Thank you. All right. That being said, things happen, folks. This is real life. Many of our guests that came today, it has been a little bit different. We have these beautiful people up here. We have another person that's coming on. What I want to say is this. As Black people, we need to look at what we are doing, and we need to do better. And these people that I have on here can help you through little directions, or I should say directions, how to be better, how to be financially sound, how to, if you know that you're a creative person and you like to write scripts or you just like to do poetry, they can direct. If you like business, you don't know, since you were little, you wanted a lemonade stand, you had a lemonade stand, business, making money, but not just a little bit of money. We're talking about millions of dollars worth of money. Go to the management group. The other thing is this. When you're talking about all the different things that we can do, we do so many incredible things. I'm going to go back to the guests so they have a chance to speak. I have to let Oyo know what's going on, and I'm going to let the guests speak while I try and deal with the Oyo situation. So, Randy, let them know what's coming up for you.
So like I said, I'm flying out to South Africa on Thursday. I'll be in Zanzibar next week, Wednesday. Pretty much heading over there to meet with some investors for a fund that I'm building, and also meeting with different companies to see about exporting products from there to over here, working with business development for those said companies. And next month, we have our Taste of Wealth, where we spotlight a Black-owned business. And so we don't just invest in businesses and making money. We also invest and give back to our community. So we have different opportunities, such as working with an organization that's focused on kids whose families have been incarcerated, helping those kids not repeat the same cycle. So we're doing a couple of different projects with them over the next few months. We're also going to be doing stuff for the holidays. You know, holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So we'll be working with another organization, providing food for, disenfranchised families, as well as gifts for the kids as well. So, like I said, we're not just about making money and building wealth. In one regard, we're also about giving back and making sure that our communities are healthy, not just financially, but also from other aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, and all that other stuff.
Wow.
Amazing. So, Odetta, let them know about your books, please.
Awesome. I am the proud author. I've always wanted to write a book. So once I really got into this whole finance space, a lot of my content, believe it or not, came directly from my experience in helping clients, seeing people like myself, hearing their struggles, and how to really help them get from one place to the next. So the first book that I written was about 3 years ago. It's called If You Ain't Stacking, You're Dropping, because I believe that everybody needs to save money, but that's just the basic, right? First, we got to save it before you could invest it. So this book talks about coin stacking principles. And then this one, which I wrote last year, is talking about this is why you broke. And a lot of people, when I sit with them, even people who may have earned money, they got a good job, they made money, they just don't understand what to do with this money in order so that when they're 65, 70, or when they die, there's still money. Other cultures have figured it out. They know this information. Our people don't. And so it's just pure financial, but not complicated or not overwhelming. It's just someone talking to you from a friend to a friend with basic financial information that we all should, put into practice. One of the single biggest way that all of us right now in this room, and you guys that are listening on, in social media or on the radio, we all can be wealthy. We all have a bank account, right? And just the fact that we all have a bank account, we're putting money in the banks. But we also need to understand that the banks will never, ever double that money. The banks are just there for a transaction purpose. So I have clients that tells me, I just, give birth to my son or my daughter, and he's good because he has a bank account. And I'm like, well, your child is going to be 18 or 22, and that money's never going to double. So the first thing I like to let families know is, yes, we have to save money. But the second thing is, where are we saving that money? If we're going to save that money in the bank, we will never get rich. We're still going to be broke, even in retirement, right? The second thing that we need to know when it comes to money is a lot of us have a job, right? Or maybe we're self-employed like myself. But let's talk about the folks that have a job and tells me, Odetta, I'm good. I have a good job. I have a pension. I got a 401k. I got 403b IRA. I'm good. I will look like dead in the face without even knowing how much money they have in those accounts and let them know, no, they're not good. Because make no mistake, and we've all experienced this, everyone that has a 401k, a 403b, an IRA, or any one of those traditional investment, we all have lost money. We all have lost money. The market is up, we make money, but when the market comes down, we also lose money. Why do we need to think that it's okay to lose money? It's not okay to lose money, right? We should never be losing money. We just don't know what investment strategies are in place to not lose money. And so, you could do everything that they tell us to do, because I went to NYU and I never even took a personal finance class. They don't even mandate it. So how are we supposed to learn this stuff if we're not mandating it in school? So it's more than just saving money, but it starts with saving money. We've got to become educated and pay attention and put ourselves in a position to learn about money. We're learning about everything else, right? So it's just about understanding how money works so we can all win the money game.
Whenever we get it done, just, we'll get it done. I spoke
Ed, we can hear
today,
you.
so
You might want to mute your mic.
So, I'm good. I'm on a Zoom meeting right now.
Go ahead.
Girl got
Do
me
you
on
have
some,
what I like or what you just said about is that you
she
wanted to
me
do
on the
something,
show,
you
so.
went out and you did it. For
They're
many
just
women,
talking about the
that is something
community
that they
and
don't know
what
how
are they
to do.
doing.
They
They
were
got
not
some
taught
people on the
how
panel or
to
whatever. She wants to
bring
know,
home.
she
Well,
came to
they
my
can bring
Hooky
home the
Day
bacon,
thing, and she wants
fried
me
up
to
in a
tell
pan,
everybody
but they don't
about Hooky
necessarily
Day.
know
Yeah,
what to do
yeah,
with the money
yeah.
that they
But yeah,
make
man.
and how to
All
better
right,
it.
man. So
Not
just
just women,
whenever
but the
Carlo's
reason I'm
ready,
saying
man,
women
just let
because
me
many
know.
times the women are
It's just
the
a
people
ready.
who
Yeah.
deal with the budgeting
I keep
and
telling
doing
Carlo
everything
all
in
the
the
time. I said,
household.
man, you always worried about me
If
sending
they
you that
knew
$50,
that they could
man.
put their
I said,
money
just the
here or
flyer, man.
there,
You act like I'm
they
not
would
gonna
have
fucking
a
pay you.
better understanding about
Yeah,
how
and
to make sure their family ate in times when there was
send
crisis.
the money first, and then we can talk business. That's how I
Sure,
do.
Khan. Sure.
Yeah, Carlos,
Sure.
boy, you got
Sure.
Surakan.
All right, brother.
Farrakhan, but with an S.
Talk to you later.
Surakan.
Sure.
All right.
Still
Okay.
saying sure.
Okay, Soros. Say that one more time. I have problems with that.
What's that? My name?
Yes.
Sora Khan.
Oh, Sora.
Sora.
There you
Okay,
go. Sora Khan. Sora Khan. I'm sorry. It's not funny. The second time either. Going back to when you decided to start to write, when you decided to, when did you know you had something?
As far as the Chambers is concerned?
As far as any project that you do, we'll talk about the Chambers. As far as the Chambers was concerned, how did you know that it was a hit?
Well, I wrote it like in 2014. So it's been sitting on the shelf for like 7 years. And I was like, nothing like this has been done yet. So maybe this is something that, I need to get into. And I got in touch with Bobby Bostic. I got to say, I wouldn't even be here with the show where I am with it without Bobby. And I think the unity, and us, together as a people and pooling our resources is wonderful when we can create something together and, and own, what you create. So, shout out to Bobby Bostic. I couldn't have done it without him. Also to the Chicago Tylerman Film Festival, Seattle Film Festival, where the show is now premiering. Again, we won 34 awards in less than 8 weeks. Best new series, best ensemble cast, best original story. So, just very proud of that. And I just want to get it out there to the people. So we're working and pushing to get the show picked up and hopefully be shooting again at the top of the year.
That right there is like excitement. And the second part of that is that my cousin, Kevin Richard Best, is actually in his show.
Yes,
and it was
co-star.
only by happenstance when I went there and we were putting down the name tags. And I said, that's my cousin. And I said, and I asked him, he said, well, he's going to be here tonight. I said, I'll see. Because it could have been somebody else, but Kevin Richard Best, you don't hear that very often. Yeah. So he's in it, and I was like,
he's a great actor, and he's a writer. I heard as well. He's a writer producer.
Yes, he just won 2 awards at Newark Film Festival for Wounds.
Wounds, yeah.
I was like, okay,
very very talented young man. I'm glad to have him aboard.
Yes, and
also create other employment opportunities for writers and crew members. That's what it's all about. Opening new doors, being an example, leading.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go back to Ed. Ed.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you still there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
So Ed, what do you have coming up for yourself? And there's a little bit of feedback.
For some reason, I can't see you, and that static is coming back.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the other party that's listening in, but I can't see you, and the static's coming back.
Okay. We're working on the static.
I can see you now.
Awesome.
I can't see you. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, okay.
Just read his mic. Don't worry. I just moved the phone mic.
All right.
I can see you now.
Awesome. So what do you have coming up? I know you do many things. Where do you work? Like, what is your day job?
I work for the New York City Transit Authority.
Okay, nothing wrong with that, yes. MTA.
Bus operator. I'm a bus operator for the New York City Transit Authority, going on 19 years.
Congratulations. Thank
you.
Ed. The other thing I want to say is that, you know what? And I promised that I would do this. This is for Odetta. She's doing exceptionally well. This is now for Randy. So, with this job, which is a full-time job, and then you do promotion, and then you also came up with this fabulous idea. What is next for you as far as your next promotion? What's happening there?
Well, just recently Saturday, if everybody's familiar with HBCU, that's Black colleges.
Yes.
They just started back at MetLife Stadium doing the annual football game.
Mm-hmm.
So this year they had Howard University against Morehouse. And what I did, me and my partners, we had about 5 buses leaving from the Bronx to go out to Jersey to experience the tailgate experience.
What?
Which is, we set up, we had music, we had a couple of DJs, we had DJ Red Alert, we had DJ LA Love, we had the host Boogie Black. We did that, and it was an incredible turnout, over 1,000 people.
Congratulations on that. I gotta give it to you. Was there a cost to go?
Yeah, so all the buses, if you was getting on the bus, it was like $80 per person to get on the bus. If you were driving, it was $65, but we provided food, beverages, so forth and so on for everybody to participate in the event. Now, what I have coming up, well, this is my birthday month, so I've been very busy. So
mine too.
Like since the first week of September, I've just been going and going and going. And this particular weekend, I'm on the Cornucopia, which is the biggest yacht in New York City. It has 3 levels, and I have about maybe 7 DJs.
7.
Yeah.
So that's rooms, not levels.
Yeah, it's a 3-level yacht. It's one of the biggest boats in New York City. So this is pretty much like my grand finale of what I do for my birthday month, which my birthday is this Wednesday.
Congratulations and happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shine a light on it. What? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
shout out to your guests. Very, very informative, especially the lady. I'm about to get in touch with you through Colette because I need to save some money. So I'll get in touch with you through Colette, and I'll be talking to you very soon.
Okay. There we have it. There we have it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
The phone. And also, too, at this time, we're going to add another guest to this mix, Mr. Jason Frazier. If you could come on down, as they say. Jason. Okay. Yeah. Who's that?
Lisa.
Awesome. All right. So, Jason, what are you doing these days?
I'm doing mentorship in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I used to work for the DOE, and I happened to resign because I seen the nonsense that they was doing with the teachers and all of that, and I just couldn't watching the system destroy these kids. And I'd rather get into more of the nonprofit thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the system is set up as the prison, the pipeline thing, and I seen it. And I also had people I'm not gonna mention, but actually tell me like they come here to count how many kids is from broken homes, how many kids is from certain parts of New York, so they know how many jails to build. So there was a reason why they kept building new prisons. You don't build new buildings if you don't have a plan to fill them. And they're not helping these kids in the DOE. I'm not saying all public schools are the same. I'm just giving my experiences. They ain't trying to help nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell, excuse me, I don't want to be.
Yes, I understand.
There's no way that I went to school in a mixed crowd. I'm from Yonkers, New York. I went to school with Asians, whites, Italians, Jewish. They not gonna let you be 17 in the 7th grade, bro. It's not happening. They not doing that. Caucasian people have problems, but they don't let their kids fall that far behind. Over here?
Yeah.
To the right?
You stay there.
Stay right there.
They not gonna let them do that. And I've also seen teachers Hispanic and African American be reprimanded for trying to tell real Black history, for trying to talk about real religion, for trying to they promoting the homosexuality. Shout out to everybody that has an alternative lifestyle. I'm not knocking that. I got family members that have alternative lifestyle, so I'm not knocking that. But there's no way you could tell me a 9-year-old no, he don't like women. A 9-year-old girl no, she don't want to be a girl no more. They promoting it through cartoons. They promoting it through all of this stuff. Superman is homosexual, bisexual. They attacking the root of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the next generation. When we old and we dead and gone, this the next generation. And they've been doing that since generations before I knew what Black history was. My grandmother was a Black Panther. She was born in 1918. She died in 2014. And she always told me, listen, I don't care what your teachers tell you. This is the real truth. And you answer their questions, but I'm telling you what it really is. So I wasn't raised in a household like that. It was dysfunctional, but it was a lot of truth in it. You know, my grandmother was in the civil rights movement, and she, you know, she knew a lot about it. She wasn't super educated, but she knew about common sense, and that's what she instilled in me. So before I even knew to be proud to be Black, you know what I'm saying? And when you see the violence, I know why it's happening, but they'll sit back and tell you they don't know why when they setting up these communities for it to be like this. You know, I was once lost and I had to be found. So anything you want to talk about, you let me know, because I'm going to answer you truthfully. See, I'm not one of them, that when I go live on my page, I don't sugarcoat nothing, because these babies is dying. I've never seen this many people under 30 die over violence in my life. Even in the crack era, it wasn't this many people dying. Right. Why are these kids killing each other? Forget about saying, oh, it's this, it ain't got nothing to do with money. Why are these kids going back to the streets? There's a reason why. And I talk to them. I talk to gang members. I talk to girls, teenage mothers. I worked at a shelter, family, psychiatric shelters, developmental disabilities. I talk and I've been in these facilities. There's a reason why this is happening. So whatever you want to ask me, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm not going to curse, but I'm not going to lie either. I'm 40 years old. I'm happy to be alive. I survived it. But I know a lot of intelligent cats from the hood that just didn't have a chance based off of the situation that they was in. Some of the most smartest people is incarcerated, and everybody in jail ain't guilty. We get railroaded by the system, men, women that's doing 20, 30, 40, 100 years, and a white man do the same thing, a white girl do the same thing. Brittany Griner's in Russia. There was a white woman that did worse than her, and they let her out. So why you want to give that girl 10 years? Let's talk about it. Whatever you want to talk about. I said what I said to open it up, but whatever you want to ask me, I'll keep it real. I ain't scared of white people. And I got white friends. Shout out to all my Jewish, Italian, Irish white friends that admit that this is going on. But they won't go and tell that to their people, but that's another story.
I know for a fact, the school that I was in, they had 15-year-olds in junior high. And they were keeping these 15-year-olds back. Now, you have a big jump between an 11-year-old and a 15-year-old, and all sorts of stuff was happening at that school. In fact, they had, they caught, anyway, I don't even know how to say this. I'm just going to say it. The children were found having an orgy, and they filmed it on Snapchat, and it was absolutely disgusting. But the thing is that these kids are lost, and they're getting more and more lost because their parents are looking to the system to raise them. The parents are no longer trying to raise them. And Jason, last time he was on, he put a great point. He said a lot of them, what would you say about the parents? A lot of the parents don't know what to do themselves.
Mm-hmm. How you gonna raise somebody? How you gonna raise somebody when ain't nobody raised you? You can't read, you can't write, you never went to school. Your mother told you how to live off the system. Your grandmother taught her, your great man who come to show her. So who you raising? Who you raising? I worked in the shelter system, and I seen women coach their daughters how to have a baby just to get Section 8. I said that before, and I'm saying it again. I seen it. How do you know how to be a grown man, a grown woman, when your family is coaching you to live off of the system? There's some kids that don't even know nothing. They have 5 generations. Nobody ever had a job or education. So how do you ask this kid to go in society and be normal? They don't even know what normal is. I didn't learn what normal was till I hit 35 years old. Prior to that, I thought drug dealing, crime, domestic violence, all of that was regular to me. So how do you expect a man that see his father on drugs, his mother on drugs, mother and father fighting, how do you expect me to be in a committed relationship and even know how to be a man, let alone raise a kid? So that's why now the woman that don't respect the man, because the white man say, don't keep him away. We're going to give you enough money to survive. Just make sure he ain't around. Then you got the man that he don't even know how to be a man. I was taught the definition of a man is much money and how many women you sleep with. You know why? Because that's what my uncles were taught. Then that's who taught them, and that's who taught them. I had to learn how to be a man. Some women, you say you a high, I said this on Instagram earlier. How you a high maintenance woman when you can't maintain the lifestyle you want to live? You're not high maintenance just because you're attractive. High maintenance women can support their lifestyle, and the only thing a man can do is add to that. You're not high maintenance because you look good. Because eventually everybody looks fades. Nobody stays together for 20, 30 years because somebody look good. But how many young girls even know that? How many young guys know what I just said to you? So I proved it time and time again. When I did after school programs, I said, give me everybody y'all got problems with. Once I talked to them and understood their lifestyle and what they was going through, 95% of them changed. You know why? All they did was want somebody to tell them they love and they believe in it. Some people are not going home to that. I didn't go home to that. I never grew up that. I didn't believe I was going to make it to 21, and I wasn't even in the street. I just had outlets. I had surrogate families. I had families that embraced me and said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. You come here and eat. You come here, we're going to feed you. We're going to clothe you. But what about the person that don't play basketball, that don't play sports? There's a lot of my friends that didn't have outlets. I had outlets, but the streets is hiring 24/7. And some people don't feel like they got any other option. They don't want to be out there, but what you gonna do if I'm 18 and I got 3 younger siblings and my mother's on drugs? My father ain't around, he might be incarcerated. I got 3 people that I'm responsible for, even though I'm not even being taken care of. Then somebody tell me they're gonna give me $1,000 a day. Just do this. How many people going? It's easy to say you ain't gonna pick that when you're not in that situation. It's easy to say that. Well, yo, you had a choice. How? When you hungry, you don't know what you're gonna do. If you don't know how it feels to be in that situation. And I know street guys that when you put them in another environment, they totally change. They become scholars. Look at Guy Fisher. He did 38 years in jail and came home with a PhD in psychology. He may have never accomplished that if he didn't go to jail. I'm not saying jail is the answer. I'm saying if you take most of these kids, if you take suburb kids and put them in crisis and take all the kids from the hood and put them in functional homes with economic, people that's taking care of them financially, mental health treatment, it'll be the same thing. White kids will be killing each other the same way. But they want to make it seem like it's just black people. No, it's a poverty thing. There's a reason why they set these communities up like this. And I've had people in politics, I've had people in law enforcement, retired and active, that admitted that they do not support, they do not police the same communities the same way. I worked on Wall Street next to New York Stock Exchange, and guess what? If you're sleeping on the train, they come in with the military and the German shepherds. Get up or you're going to jail. But why they don't do that uptown? Because they don't care. They don't care about a homeless person killing a woman on her way home from work. You know how many people I had to protect because somebody homeless was doing all this stuff? And I said, listen, leave her alone. They don't do it, but they're not going to say that. They won't say that. And I'm not going to speak on certain politicians I spoke to, certain people, but they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I agree with you 110%. The thing is, with the bright side comes the dark side. And unless you're able to embrace and know both sides, there's not going to be any change. Because if you don't know the dark, you're not going to appreciate the light. And I'm not saying you have to be in the dark. Sometimes the dark is you just finding your way through to figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it. And it doesn't mean that you're going to have to go through hell to do it, but sometimes you do. The thing is, what I have noticed, especially with the DOE is a problem. It is a problem. And as well as the social work. Social work is another problem. I was in that. I got the heck out. I was like, no, you can't do this. Because I was told, you need to be on the side of the person who is paying your check. If you're not on that side, then what are you going to do?
So when they diagnose you with a mental illness, they do this from when you kids. They say, yo, man, you can't work. There's something wrong with you. So you grew up your whole life thinking there's something wrong with you. I worked with a dude that had a speech impediment. He said, my whole life I've been getting a disability check. I can't work because I got to speak. I said, ain't nothing wrong with you. Because when you order food, I hear you speak clearly. I said, what it is no one taught you that you got to concentrate more on using your words wisely. They just said, there's something wrong with you. We're going to give your mother a check, and you can't work. So now when you become grown, you feel you can't accomplish nothing. So that's what they do in the community. But they don't do that in the white community. They say, there's something wrong with him, we're going to get him help. They don't do that. They diagnose you and say, take this check to the day you die. And that's it. Give it to your mother. And some black and men and women fall for that. I don't want my kid. I've had women say, why you took my kid out of special ed? I ain't trying to lose that $1,200 a month. Nah, there's something wrong with him. Put him back. Nah, ain't nothing wrong.
No,
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you,
I got paperwork on this.
I have seen.
Trust me. Public school. And I'm not going to say the names because I know some people that still work there.
I
want to respect people's family and how they earn a living.
I agree with you. I was in the school, and one of the parents said, they were like, there's nothing wrong with your son, ma'am. She said, there is something wrong with him. That's what the government said, and that's why I had the money. She refused. You guys talk, say something. No, because when I saw it, I kind of started coughing. I had to go over to the side because this woman was like, no, something is wrong with him. My sister said it best. I was talking to her. She said that wealthy people exchange time for money, money for time. No, is it time for money? Yeah, they want their time. So if they have to pay the money to get that time, that's what they will do. But poor people want the money and forget about the time, and it's the time that you need. So the thing is how do we, and this is the question I'm going to give to the panel, how can we get your services to those who need it the most but don't realize that they do?
Because we have to acknowledge mental health treatment, and I'm asking, and I'm expressing this about celebrities are saying how they mentally ill. People not taking this serious, and they haven't took it serious over years. People are mentally ill, and some people are not capable to be parents. That's the bottom line. But they still are out here producing kids, and society has to deal with them. These kids running around killing, some of them feel hopeless. They don't even want to live. I've met kids that's like, yo, man, I'm mad I woke up today. I want to die because I don't want to live where I'm living at.
Ask the question.
And it's sad, but I've met it.
Ask the question. That same kid. No. That same kid that you met. Oh, okay, thank you. That same kid that you met that told you this.
Yeah.
How involved were you with him after that?
And he came to one of my after school programs. I realized that his mother was on drugs. He was living in a shelter. His father was disabled. He was sleeping on a pile of clothes. This boy had on the same underwear, pants, drawers, socks for 30 days. We had a meeting. They said, well, that ain't no excuse to not do your work. I said, have you ever wore the same clothes for 30 days? Come to school stinking? You ain't washed? Your pops ain't doing what he got to do? Have you ever felt that? So how can a person that never been in that situation dictate how you react to living like that at 15 years old? This is a kid. They changed his whole environment. He wound up getting placed somewhere. He became an A student.
So
it ain't mental illness.
Acting for a reason.
As a 15-year-old, how do you handle something? White people can speak what they want to speak. But if you ain't been through that,
how can you tell me that I'm doing something wrong?
So I asked that for a reason, right? Because
I'm just giving you an example.
I feel like we've lost our way because we've lost community, right? We're all trying to tackle things as individuals, right? And that's totally not the way we should be doing something. So I asked you that for a reason, right? Because I wanted to see if you were consistent in that kid's life, absolutely, right? And to see that change, right? And because kids can smell bullshit, you know what I mean? But once you're consistent in that child's life, so I could come in, speak at a school one day, go away, and never come back. Right. I didn't really make a difference, right? Because I'm there for one day. That doesn't do nothing, right? That's just showing up to make me feel good. But if I'm consistent in that child's life,
well, consistency is real, but they also need to know that you understand their pain. I'm from the hood, single parent, father in and out my life. I'm from the hood. I went to 21 funerals before I was 21. Most of my friends is dead or they in jail, and the ones that's alive, we just survived. I done seen my friends get shot up and survive. That was normal to me. It was normal until I traveled, until I started to see normal. I never knew my mother's birthday. I didn't even know. She said, don't worry about when my birthday is. And my mother graduated from Manhattan College and had a master's degree and was a nurse for 25 years, working in the psych ward, but she was out of her mind because she never survived her childhood. So how she gonna raise somebody, no matter how much money she had? She couldn't raise me because she wasn't over her pops not being there and the trauma she went through in life. So on paper, nobody's gonna take your kids away from somebody that got a city or state job, a nurse, alone. And she always told me, you think you're going to... White people ain't gonna take you. Watch what I do. She go there. How you doing? Hello, yes. Yo, I work here, Columbia. You know, yeah, yes. Everything good. And then I go home. You think I'm gonna let the white people take my money and beat my mother effing behind and said next time you go to white people, I'm gonna kill you. And my father knew it. He was in the military. He said, well, she used to do that to me too, man. I don't know what to do. Now, how do I handle that at 12, 13, 14 years old? Streets always showed me love. Love come with it. I might have to, yo, man, I need you to go do that. I don't know nothing about doing 100 years life. I just know this person done fed me all week. He told me, take this, do that. A lot of these kids don't even understand what the system is geared to do. I know I survived it.
But then it goes back
but to they respect me because I know how they feel. They see me in the community.
I feel you.
I pull out ramen noodles and say, yo, man, I know how I feel. But you ain't got to eat this the rest of your life, bro. That's why the hood respect me, because they know I'm from there and I live there.
So, any questions about this? So how, okay, Odetta, if you would like, what would you say to something like this?
Well, speaking from a financial perspective, of course, one of the things you mentioned is the community, right? We need a community. But a lot of what I'm also hearing is, yes, there's lack of the community, there's lack of us as a society coming together, but there's also a huge impact with the economics. Because if somebody is giving you some money to go do something, if you were brought up in a home where, you know, I'm not saying everything is about money, but when you don't have it, it's everything. So it goes back to, I mean, I even see this with clients that I have that I'm trying to educate them on, okay, let's make sure your kids are going to be set up to be millionaires. Maybe you're not a millionaire in your lifetime because you're getting this information at a later age, but let's put some things in place for your kids. And I've had about a handful of clients that would tell me, well, Odetta, I'm on food stamp, I'm on Section 8, I'm getting this government check, so I don't think I want to do what you're telling me, because they have to stay within a certain threshold. They can't have more than $2,500 in the bank account. And I'm showing them a way to make, you know, or to make more money or to save more money, but they can't save the money in their bank account, because when they're going to do their recertification every 6 months or 9 months, if the government sees this money, then, you know, they could get disqualified from getting the free perks. So a lot of that, what I'm seeing it from a financial standpoint is, yes, we need to be educated, and then also understand how finance really ties into a lot of the things. Because if we're worried about losing the check because we can't pay rent, or we can't put food on the table, and or we're gone all these hours and our kids are left alone, and then they're hanging on the streets and somebody's showing them a way to make a quick 1,000 or 2. That's it's a problem even for us, because people don't want to be educated or put themselves in a better position financially because they're dependent on this free. So the system, yes, is making it easier. And yes, I do want to echo with him and say, yeah, the system has failed us. But at some point, this is why we're having this dialogue, because we want to let people know that, hey, you might be in that situation, but there, you can get out of there. Yes, it's not going to be easy. And this is why we're doing what we're doing. And I commend you for doing the work, because there's a lot of people that are, they're still in that mindset. Like I literally spoke with a client last week, and she's like, Odetta, I can't do what you're telling me, even though it's going to be better for my future, because she's thinking what she's going to lose. But what she's going to lose is little compared to what she can potentially gain, not just for herself. When she's long gone and dead, her kids could have millions. But because of the instant gratification, what she's currently getting, yes, the mindset has a lot to do with it. Unfortunately, with our people, I don't know. It's like we're maybe it's it's a couple of things.
It is many things. With the mindset, one of the things that we're not looking at is that the entrenchment of other ideals. We were poured out. Our culture was stolen from us. But not only was it stolen, it was replaced with another culture that is not our own. And what has happened is that we're living in one body with two independent parts of us, one that we are forming through our experiences, and the other one that was placed there that doesn't even belong there. And one of the things is that in Africa and in other parts of the world, community was first. If you look at all the people who are in the ages of the 80s, 70s, late 70s, all these people are about community, and that's how they move. But now you go, anybody that's 80s on down, is all about individualism. In fact, that was the big thing about being an individual.
And that's segregating us, because, they said together as one we win, but when we disintegrate and we're individual, we're really not gaining anything, because we're not coming together. So it's and I want to echo it again. I'm going to harp on the financial piece, because there's financial strategies that allow all of us that are in this room to put things in place to make us millionaires. But why aren't we seeing these ads on TV? Why aren't we hearing about these things on the radio or a newspaper? Why isn't the government or the banks showing us or telling us, hey, if you put your money in this account called, for example, an IUL, you're going to be a millionaire when you're 65. You're not going to have to pay taxes on this money, or you'll never lose money in the stock market. Why aren't we learning about these things? We're not, because the government is the one that's taxing the money. And if we know something, they can't tax the money. So at the end of the day, the information is not trickling down to us purposely, because if we know what they know, we're going to win the money game.
Yes.
All right, so two things, right? In regards to the system, right? Why are we still relying on a system that was meant to oppress us?
Woo!
Yep.
Come on, somebody.
Like, why? Like, I mean, that's like trying to date a girl that doesn't want to date me. Why am I still going after her? We're constantly trying to, get into a system that wasn't meant for us. And if you go back to right after slavery, we went our own separate ways. And of course they came and they bombed it and everything like that. But even back then, when we were at and to me, it's at our worst, right? Because slavery was something that was just like, what you learn in school is nothing compared to what happened in real life, right? So, but right after that system, they thrived, right? We did our own thing. And then, of course, they created Jim Crow laws, set us up for failure again, and constantly, I think you mentioned it about keeping husbands out of, because what they realized was that no matter what they did to us, we had community. And so what they had to do was separate us. And so they worked that along over the last few hundred years to make that happen. And so right now we're at our worst. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we no longer want to work together. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that we need to do is eliminate ego and emotion. Mm-hmm. And, and until we get rid of that, we will always be in the system.
That is well said. Sure, you have something, sir?
No, yes, sir. No, I agree 100%. I myself did 16 years as a director for the New York City Housing Authority and youth services. So I ran, youth programs. I use that, use the arts as my motivation, to keep it going. But I'm very familiar with the brother and all the stories, that he's telling. I've seen a lot of that firsthand. But, and again, it's about gaining their trust. I had an open door policy. I said, I don't care if you're a blood or you're a cripple, whatever you want to call yourself. But when you come in here, it's about unity. We're together. So people with other directors and other people, why did you leave your doors open? And you just let people walk in? They trusted me. We had that trust factor in place. And a lot of this is just deeply rooted in a very dark, history, that we have. And we're still, today trying to recover, all of that. The same thing, with Christmas and all of those different things. And with my family, it was taught from, great-grandmother down to grandmother. And then when we come along and try to break the thing, they look at us like we're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we lived all our lives doing this. Or, they can't understand that, the change, you know what I'm saying? So, and being a writer, this is why I love what I do, because I'm able to articulate it on film or articulate it, in television and create opportunities for them. So this is a very interesting panel you have here, because there's so many different areas and perspectives, but together, just look at the power and what just this group right here, can do collectively. Yes. If we unite, That's really what it's all about.
And to be honest with you, I think we need to start a think tank, think tank and an action tank. We got to stop just thinking. We got to do some action. Seriously, I'm a little bit tired of the thinking. We need some solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
We need some action. Ed, if you could chime in. Okay. It's all right. This is what it is. So,
I just want to chime in one more time.
You chime in.
I don't think it's a money thing, because you see a lot of these young rappers, African American, Hispanic, that got money, and they still looking for validation from the ghetto. So you can give somebody money, and if their mentality don't change, only thing it's going to magnify is the negative things they've been doing. What are you trying to look for street validation for? And you got millions of dollars and life-changing money to change your whole family's life for 5 generations. Now, I say this. The love overpowers the hate. The love overpowers the hate. A lot of these kids out here commit these heinous crimes. They don't feel loved. You know how many people I've seen about to hurt somebody with weapons and stuff, and I'd be like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? You know you're going to go to jail for half your life. Man, listen, if nobody ever told you, I love you, man, and I think you can do better. And I done had gangsters cry in front of me just because that's how bad they want a man to say they love them.
Oh.
The love over, we got to start with love. Money ain't going to fix our problems. We got to start with showing these kids there's a better way, and that somebody, even if it ain't your parents, somebody cares about you, and we don't want to see you die or go to jail for half your life. The love is going to fix it, and then we can figure out the economics later. But you can give everybody $10 million right now, and if we don't change our mentality as African Americans in this country, Black Americans, whatever you want to say, ain't nothing going to change.
Absolutely.
Nothing. It ain't the money. Trust me, I believe that.
So everything you said was you're right.
That's my opinion.
No, everything you said was right on point. It was definitely right on point, right? It is not just the economics, right? It is definitely, and that goes back to my most important point, the community, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're going through something, and if I'm ignoring you because I don't know you, that makes you
because I'm not your son.
Yeah.
So you ain't worried
so basically, I'm turning you into a beast, right? Because I'm not showing you.
I live in your community.
Exactly. But most of the time we're not acknowledging those kids who are in the street, because if they're not in my home, they're not my child.
That's not how it was.
Yes, exactly, right? Because when I grew up, if I did something on my block, my parents worked, right? And if they came home, they knew what was going on, and my ass was in trouble.
And the neighbor gonna get you, then your parents gonna get you.
But now, like, you can't admonish a kid, right? Because if I say something to your kid, you're like, what? Why are you talking to my kid for? And it's like, well, miss, your kid just knocked everything down, and I'm just talking. Well, it doesn't matter. He's not your child. Like, we're at this point right now where everything's an argument, right? And so I agree with you 100% that it's not just economics, but the economics is important, right? So when you're talking about those artists who are not happy,
like Young Thug and the guys going through that situation, but they had life-changing money. So why are you looking for her validation? The same way that the gentleman, whoever he was, killed P&B Rock over a chain. When you could have went to him and said, yo, man, I'm a black entrepreneur. I'm trying to figure things out. How'd you do it? No, I'm not going to exchange social media. I'm going to see where you at with your girlfriend, kill you over jewelry. This is the messed up mentality.
But this is why he is so important. Why? Because we need people telling our people telling our stories. Right? Because at the end of the day, the gatekeepers, what are they doing? They are perpetuating that gangster lifestyle. Yes. And a lot of these kids do not even know what the real whole gangster situation was about in the first place. You know what I mean? So if you have people who are imitating what they think being a gangster is, it's going to create confusion. So I'm going to constantly have to be living up to a standard that was set, decades ago.
We glorify dysfunction.
Yeah,
we celebrate the man that did 20 years. We 100%. Celebrate the woman that's out there on Instagram shaking her behind. But we don't celebrate the person that graduated, that stayed out of trouble, graduated college. I had a girl at my job. Let me tell you something dysfunctional. She's my age. I'm 40. Mm-hmm. I said, would you ever date a man that worked at McDonald's? She said, nah, man. Nah, he worked at McDonald's. How that's going to make me look? But you spent 10 years waiting for a man in prison. But you won't get the dude that's working at McDonald's no time of the day. You know why? Because we clown the dude that work at McDonald's, but we celebrate the dude that been in and out of jail his whole life.
Look what happened to Sierra. With Sierra, they keep on calling Russell a square.
What's wrong with being a square?
Exactly.
What's wrong with that? I stay out of trouble. I support my family. I work. What's wrong with that? Why am I a nerd? Because I don't want to go to jail and I want to work. But look at what we glorify. The tough guy. You know what's tough? Taking care of your family. Staying out the way. In America where they stole this land and brutalized us, it's hard to stay out of the way. Every time I got locked up, police say, yo, how you ain't got no felonies? Because they know how hard it is to stay out of trouble. That's why they asked me that. I know the game. But everybody glorifies it. Yo, well, you're welcome home, my man. Why we don't say congratulations for graduating college, stay out of trouble. Congratulations for taking care of your kids. Congratulations for not abusing your woman.
But it also depends on what circles you're around, right? Because I have people who are like that, right? I have people who are like that. I mean, we goes back to what you're saying, right? So like, I went to Brooklyn Tech, right? And we're still close, right? We call ourselves like a tech cult, right? And these were smart people who grew up in the hood, but also were very intelligent. And they were still cool as hell, right? Because we can hang out with anybody. I can hang out with anybody who was like, because in our communities you had everybody, right? You could be on one block. You could have drug dealers. You could have people who went to school. You could have single mothers. Two family households. You could have everything on that one block in your community. That's how it was, right? Until flight, right? Until you start making a little bit of money, then you want to move into better neighborhoods and things like that, not realizing the gem that you have in our neighborhoods. And that's why our neighborhoods start going down, value start dropping, crime is allowed to happen because guess what? That allows the value to drop even further. So you're allowed to do what you want to do, right? Because at the end of the day, they come back and buy it up and they revitalize it.
Look at the communities, right? Me even walking from the bus here, this don't look like where I'm from. Why? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't find this. But if I was in Harlem, I would have been able to find this right away as soon as I got off the bus. Why? Because I already understand people over here economically are living different. So it's more functional. I don't know nothing about eating with my family every day. Only time me and my family got together in the funeral, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. We ain't never sit down and have Big Mama Sunday dinner. Why is that? That ain't got nothing to do with the white man. That's us glorifying dysfunction.
Okay.
But psychologically, we're psychologically broken.
I agree.
How do we fix that?
Right.
Okay, well, that's the solution.
That's
That's what we're going.
That's the solution.
All
You
right.
talked about the
Yeah.
problem.
And also, I want to talk about something that I saw that was a little bit crazy. This guy, he had just come out from serving 20 years, and all he's talking about, I didn't snitch though. I'm a real nigga. I didn't snitch though. The thing is that I said to myself, maybe you should have, because, and he said, I'll never snitch. And I'm thinking to myself, this man could go back in for another 20 years, come out an old man, thinking that he really did something, and all he did was mess his life up. And the thing is that is the solution. We've got to stop making it seem like it's okay not to tell. This is why pedophilia has flourished, why sexual immorality has flourished, why molestation is commonplace, and all this stuff is commonplace is because we've been told not to talk.
Can I ask a question for that? Not to tell on what? See, I can give you another perspective on that.
Yeah,
not to tell on what though?
I agree about this perspective.
No, when you say that, you gotta specifically say what you mean, not telling, because
listen to what I'm gonna say.
All right, give me an example.
Okay. So I'm setting it up. Let me set it up, and then you can hit it out of the ballpark, all of you. So the setup is this: I had a guest who was on here. Her mother used to traffic her for drugs. She would dress her up in her Sunday best, and then right after church would take her to the drug dealer. The drug dealer would use her up, bring her back in her Sunday best. Now, what do you think that is telling that child? There's so many things that it is telling the child. The thing is, when you grew up with that type of mentality, can that mentality ever change? Yes, it can. Yeah. Will it take a lot of work? Yes, it will. But what are the steps that need to go? One of the first steps is to acknowledge. Use your grief. Acknowledge the problem. We have a problem. We have a problem in the community of keeping quiet and keeping things secret. What do we need to do to make sure that people tell things that need to be told? How do we make that the thing that's now needed? Because every community that has ever flourished, many of them started out with crime. Look at the Italians, the Irish, the Jewish people. Started out with crimes, blacks too. Crime does pay. But although it pays, what can we do on the other side to make what we do attractive? It used to be the church, but the church had its own secrets. So where are we going? It starts in the home. And if you don't have a home to go to, it starts with somebody else stepping up to the plate and saying, I will take care of this child to the best of my or our ability. So if that is one of the solutions, what is another solution?
Now you say snitching. Okay, I agree if you know somebody's a pedophile, you know somebody's hurting old ladies for money, you know somebody are poisoning your community or whatever. I don't look at that as snitching. I look at it as you a civilian, you're not involved in no criminal activity. You have every right to call 911 and say, listen, this person's in front of my building, they doing this, that, and the third, and I don't like it. Boom, 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 boom. But if you're involved in criminal stuff, if me and you rob a bank, and I get caught, and then they say, we're going to give you less time, tell us who was with you, that's snitching.
Okay,
if you're a civilian, there's no snitching. But if you're in the streets, you got to hold that. This might be a hood rule.
But that is
Code of the streets.
Code of the streets.
Okay, come on.
If you're a street guy, you got to live by street rules.
Okay, we got some people.
That's just my opinion.
We got some people who said, Ross Jeffrey Gordon said, I could listen to you all night, bro. Your logic is epic. talk to my brother. You keep it real. He's talking about everyone. And then he said, this is the right energy. This is some powerful messages. And then we have Pax, hand claps all the way. Pax, exactly. Yep, don't label yourself. Then we have Ingrid Kings, real talk, guys. And then we have Solwazi, how are you? Then we have Ingrid King or Ingrid King watching from Brooklyn. How are you, Ingrid? And Joan Cato, she's watching. She says, good night, everyone. Blessings. Good night, everyone. Thank you for your comments. Much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
Yes,
Much
definitely.
appreciated.
Look, male or female, stay out the streets. Stay out the streets. It's not snitching when you are a civilian and you're speaking on this person poisoning your community, this person knocking out old ladies, this person's a pedophile. I seen this person snatch a little boy or girl. That's not snitching. Snitching is you committing a crime and trying to get away with it by telling who was with you. That's snitching.
Come
And
on, somebody.
we need to get the real truth about telling. Because I know that. That's why they told me stay on the sidewalk. Because if you're gonna be in the street, don't get mad when you're hit by a car.
Oh, come on, come
That's
on.
what my OGs told me.
Come on. I love it. The logic, though. The logic. The logic.
And I went to college, I played basketball, and I stayed out the street. That's why I'm still here to give you stories.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jason. All right, Jason. All right. So this is the question, another question for the panel. What can we do to make sure that all of the industries represented here are a part of the community?
I'm already a part of the community.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm about.
Okay.
You know, when I started my business, yes. You know, when most people hear me talk, they hear the real estate, they hear the businesses, they hear, you know, me talking about traveling to Africa and trying to reconnect us over there as well. The core part of my business is community.
Come on.
I mean, like, yes, would I like for all of us to be wealthy? Would I like for all of us to be able to have our time back? That's what money's about. Money's about time, right? But none of that matters if there's not community, right?
Yes.
If I'm not looking to uplift my brother here, then me becoming wealthy might turn him into a monster. Right? We can't go on ignoring each other and expect things to change. Right. You know what I mean? So I do this every day. I wake up every morning and I'm focused on building my community back. Whether it's through real estate, whether it's through businesses, or whether it's just by being there for people.
Right.
So I live this.
Right. And I respect that. Now, let's get everybody's opinion. No, because we got to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
And Coletta's right.
Yeah.
And I got an opinion on how we can figure it out, but I want to hear everybody's opinion.
Okay. It started with knowledge for us. I mean, we all agree we need community. We all agree we need to help each other. I know for me personally, what our organization does, every day I'm helping strangers. Every day I'm sharing financial information because that's one way that we can get out of this economic poverty mindset, because it's not, you know, when we die, our kids are still left to deal with whatever if we don't change it. So for me, one of the ways that our organization is aggressively attacking this is through educating our community. We have workshops every day, 3 times a day. And, you know, yes, it's workshops, it's webinars, it's me going and speak at events, it's me being back in the community. In fact, on Sunday, I'm going to be at SUNY Downstate where they're talking about health. And I'm tying the piece how economic has a lot to do with your health, because if you can't afford to buy whole food or healthy organic stuff, you're gonna get sick. Or if you're limited on the type of health care that you have, you're not gonna see the same doctor that I'm gonna see if I have long-term care and you only have what the government is giving you. So as far as how we can help is, for me, education is key. everything has to do with education. If I'm living in a household where my kids are good, I want to make sure the kids that my kids are playing with, they also have access to this information. Most of my clients are African American, they're West Indians. I've probably sat with maybe like 5 white people, and when I asked them if they knew this information that I'm teaching, they said, yeah, my mom already had this to me when I was born, or my cousin, like they already know this stuff. But I think for us Black people, and again, a lot of it has to do with all this thing that, you know, we're still kind of like enslaved mentally, because we're all like in that crab mentality bar, like, I want to make sure I'm good. I don't care about my cousin or my neighbor as long as I'm good. No, it's not about you being good. It's about everybody being good. So if some of us have the information, we want to make sure that we help others who may not have it. Or if my kids are doing good, or my kids are going to this best school, I want to talk to my friends to make sure, hey, do you know what you need to do so that your kids can also come to this school that my kids are going to? So it's about sharing the information, but first you have to know the information. And then of course, we have to be more loving and having that community, because we're so disintegrated right now. I tell my family all the time, I don't want to be the only millionaire in the family. I want my sister, my brother, their kids, my cousins, my auntie, like the things that I'm teaching families, my aunts and uncles and parents don't even know it. So it goes back to one of the things you said. If our parents don't know this information, they can't teach us it. And now I have the opposite in my family, where I'm the one telling my parents or aunts and uncles, or even great aunts and uncles, what to do. Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Where's your money sitting? How much did you lose in the stock market? You didn't have to lose much. Like, they don't know these things, so they couldn't guide me. Right. So now that we know it, it's about really disseminating the information, making sure that all of us are good, and not just my household is good. Like, my family should be good. My kids' should be good. My kids' friends should be good. The whole block should be good. But then again, we also have that situation where some people, you know, they're selfish. They don't want to share the information. They just want to make sure they're the Jones on the block. No, I don't want to be the only Jones on the block. I want everybody to be rich on the block.
I love it.
So when we travel,
I love it.
So when we travel or we go to dinner, everybody's dropping their American Express. Like, I got it. Not me and 5 friends and everybody looking at me because I'm the only rich one. No, I want all of us to be rich, because now the conversation is going to be different. The mindset is going to be different. We're thinking bigger and better. It's not about just making $1 million. It's about, how can I get somebody else to also come in and make $1 million with us?
Okay. That was
super good. I like that. Well, in my opinion, like, you know, the industry that I'm in is hugely responsible for the conditions that we're in right now.
Come on, somebody.
The television industry, the film industry has shaped the thinking of us, has made us feel less than.
Yes.
And being in a position like I am now to control the narrative, to create the stories that I want to tell, that's a very, very, very powerful thing. So even with the show that I'm doing right now, it's about the justice system, but, you know, there's a lot of things I just don't want to say, you know, now, because, you know, I have my plans. I know what I'm doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Tell us what you can.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, but it's about, you know, like I said, the unity. It is about coming together and creating and writing the stories that are going to uplift us, to tell the stories that they don't want us to tell. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. You know what I'm saying? As to create and control the narrative.
Absolutely.
That's the key. And that's a very powerful position, because with social media and the explosion and the way you can see things and hear, this is why things are all over the place. An explosion of information. We didn't have that coming up. I'm 10, well, you say you 40, I'm 58. You know, listen, we didn't have that.
No.
The power, you know, we had NBC, CBS, ABC. And Channel 13, you may see a little nudity every now and then. But now, with so much is available, it's shaping. You don't know what to believe anymore. They just have so much thrown at them, especially this generation. This generation has so much, because so much information is available to them. And I think they're being misleaded. They're being lied to. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things like that going on. So I think in this position, and collectively we can do a lot of things. But it starts off with us coming together, realizing that there's a problem, and really understanding that mental health is a serious issue, and we are all affected by it in some way. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't want to admit it. People used to say, oh, you want to go see a psychiatrist? I don't want to be there. Ain't nothing wrong with me. No, there really is. We've all been affected some kind of way by mental illness, you know, whether we choose to admit it or not. Because it's going to find an outlet, and it's going to show up somewhere in our lives by the decisions we make, the things we do, all that kind of stuff.
You know what?
Oh, I like that. Yes, it so is. My thing is this. I challenge everybody to give it. I challenge. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I challenge. I'm sorry.
My man.
So I challenge everybody to give one definition on how we could collectively fix it. Now, this is my opinion on it. Let's start off with a once a month meeting for free with some free food, and just invite everybody in the community to come, young and old, and everybody give their opinions. Like, you got the economic stuff, you got the book stuff, you got your travels in life and whatever else you into. Colette got her stuff, I got my stuff related, and let's put all of this thing together. Once a month, free event. I don't mind putting up a couple of dollars. I'm gonna put up what I can. I might have $7, but who knows? Point is, let's put something together once a month to give back this information to the people in whatever community. Brooklyn, it could be Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx,
or we can
whatever.
go each.
That's what I said. What's the mission? What would the mission be? Yeah, like what would
just like listen, come through and get the information about life. It could be economics. It could be how do you get out your situation. It could be kids coming through saying I'm living with somebody mentally ill on drugs. How do I fix that? Public school, whatever. We can collectively all give our piece to all age brackets once a month and then branch off from there. I think that would be dope.
I think that would be dope.
And I'm saying if y'all with that, I'm with it.
I'm down with it. And I'm going to tell you why I'm down with it, because this is something that I've wanted to do. The fact that you said it, it's getting ready to happen. I'm going to make sure it happens. We need to have a place in each borough. Absolutely. So that each borough can have this information. And the reason I'm saying each borough, and I'm talking about Harlem, I'm talking about Bronx, I'm talking about Queens, we're talking about Brooklyn. I don't know too much about Staten Island, so we can figure it out. We can figure that out. The other thing is, the reason why this is important is, and you guys are looking, what can we do? Come with the information, not a whole bunch of information, but some information that people can start with. Right. Beginning information. Start from the roots. The very beginning. Right. Something that's like simple to us, but would be kind of complex to them.
Somebody else. Right. I agree. That's dope.
And it needs to be simplistic. It doesn't need to be complex.
No.
Language. And the thing is that we're saying once a month. Maybe we might not be able to do it once a month. Maybe we might have to do it every 3 months.
That's fine.
But whatever it is, we start with it. And I wrote a poem. Okay. Now, why am I talking about this poem? I'm going to have Michael up here shortly. Because I don't know what that pinging was. Whoa. All right. So, excuse me. During slavery, they said the only thing that the black man left with was his walk. If you look at a black man's walk, it is like no other walk in this world. The way a black man walks, I remember that used to be one of the things I loved to see, a black man walk. If you were bow-legged, that much more. No, not for a man, but for a woman. A woman loves to see another man walk. And I don't remember if you remember the days when people used to be like pimping. When they used to like walk in a certain way, you knew a black man had the head to the side. Oh my gosh. No, that walk.
Remember the song Walking in Rhythm?
Oh my gosh. So, all right. A black man's walk. A black man's walk is freedom and bravery encapsulated in most aspects of his life. A black man's walk showcases his self-esteem and his self-worth. A black man's walk is power. untapped. A black man's walk creates change. A black man's walk ushers in their purpose. A black man's walk is unique to them. It is their currency in the game of life. It is their unique stamp in their universe that says, here I am, here I stand. A black man's walk is a game changer. It says, I came, I saw, I conquered. When a black man walks, change has already come and a new day is dawning.
All right. That's dope. I like that. That's dope.
I did one for the women as well.
Okay.
All right, and here we go. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, because I think as women and men, we forget that we are absolutely amazing. And this is happened. I was at a interfaith convention, and a black woman, this tall guy, muscular guy, was getting ready to take a chair. And the woman said, no, you can't take that chair. And he said, why not? He said, it belongs to someone. And so he went around. He said, the whole table? She said, you have to understand, we came as a group. Yes, the whole table. And he walked away. And I said, you know what? When a black woman speaks, the earth stops. The sea is still. Children hush. Her oratory is so powerful that those in power listen. Her presence is felt in her words. Her words spell change. Her actions are for her people, and they call her blessed. She is loved, she is fearless, and she knows her worth. When a black woman speaks, change is coming.
All right. All right. I respect it. I respect it. I respect the game. That was dope.
I try to do that. And then I did one for our children. And the reason I had to do that for our kids, because I think that black children don't see this enough. I'll see if I can get it. It's called When Black Children See Excellence. When black children see excellence. When black children see excellence, their lives are changed. Their spirits are lifted up. Their heads are held high. Their self-esteem skyrockets. Their hearts are made full. Their minds are strengthened, and their personhood is established. When black children see excellence, they then become excellent, and their trajectory changes.
All right. That's good. I like that. That was dope.
Thank you.
I like that. That was dope.
Thank you.
That's dope. They need to hear things. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So
You wrote that?
I did. I wrote out some.
All three. That was dope.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Thank you. Thank you. At this time, Mike has something that he would like to say. And we're going to let him say it. And he's going to go behind me.
I don't want you to do it. You put me in a spot. I got the mic all the time. What an awesome team, man. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at in front of you, I must say.
Come on in, brother. You'll still be on. You'll still be on.
Yeah, go ahead, man. You sit down. What we see here, it's a making of something really, really good. It's the making of something really, really good. And I really appreciate what Khaled is doing and what you continue to do, bringing people together, sharing the information in the community. Really, really appreciate what she's doing. But right now, the spotlight, we want to put the spotlight on two special people that we had something for, which they left a little earlier, so we couldn't get presented to them. But now that we had the chance in front of the world, we want to say thanks to Sarkon and Bobby for what you guys are doing. They have a movie right now. It's called The Chambers, and they're doing big things. I can't. He's gonna explain to you. So we want to present you guys with a little token from Talking to Town Radio.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
A little appreciation from Talking to Town Radio, from all of us to you and Bobby for what you guys are doing in the community. Really appreciate it.
That's
And I'm so
amazing.
happy that we got the honor that we could just do it in front of you, in front of the world, so we can get to show the world what you guys are doing. And there's a lot of people out there. Please help us. We need the help. We need the connection. We need people to put the spotlight on. If you know someone doing something good in the community, please call us up and give us whoever name, whatever name, old, young, doesn't matter. Call us up. We need to help. We need the help. So with your help, we know we can make this happen. More like that. So thank you all for this night. Colette, thank you very much for having this one. This is an amazing team right here.
I'm telling you.
And this is the beginning of something good. And I hope I seen something because I felt the vibes. I really, really appreciate what you guys are doing, man. Thank you very much. Well, she always in the spotlight, for many, many years. Everybody know Odetta King. Who don't know Odetta King? I don't know, man. I always call her Odetta Queen because I'm the king. She's the queen, so. But we got to give it to her because she's been doing her thing for many, many years. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate you. I didn't get your name when you first came in. Jason, thank you very much. I really appreciate what you're doing for the youth. That's a good thing, man. And see, we need more people like, what's going on here, man, because we could only help so much, but we need at least, we start with a financial advisor. And it's very important that we have people like her around so you can let us know exactly where to go and where your money, how your money growing. Very, very important. Absolutely. And we all got to do. So I don't want to say too much. I don't want to take up too much time. But thank you all very, very much. I really appreciate what you guys are doing, man. Thank you all very much.
And,
always a pleasure.
And also, people, what they don't know is that he built this. This is his baby. This is his brainchild. So, Talking to Town Radio is Michael.
Thank you very much. Thank you. With a little bit of help of my boy Percy and other people, they come together. We sit down, we drink, and we have fun. Every weekend we just come up in here and do what you got to do. People come in and show a little love in it, and this is what the love showing, man. And I can see the love. The love is like blossoming a lot, man. I really, really appreciate where the love coming from. So, love is very, very important to me. And that's all I have, and that's all I can take with me. So, more love, more better.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, man. I want to close out. We all gonna share each other's social media and stuff like that. But I also want to say I appreciate it, Colette, for reaching out, giving me an opportunity to tell my story, a little bit of it, and being able to express myself, coming from where I come from. And I'm a survivor. You know what I'm saying? I survived it, and I'm happy to be here. And I appreciate it, man. I love all you guys, man. Listen, I want to learn as much as I can. Listen, show me the game. You know what I'm saying? What you show me, I'm going to show the people behind me. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I can. So I love all you guys. Appreciate y'all time because we could have been anywhere else, but we came to show love. So I'm saying let's fix it. The love overpowers the hate by twos, man. Facts.
Facts, major facts. So, okay. All right.
Bring back your chair there. I'll sit right here.
Okay, so the one of my final questions, well, no, not even a final question. What I am going to do is let you guys put out your social media and where you can be found so that people who want to get in touch with you can do so. Of course, if you guys want to be a part of, I'm calling it the Eden Project. You want to be a part of the Eden Project, let us know. And we're going to make this happen. Because, and I know you guys are all busy. We're asking to stretch just a little bit. And sometimes you're not able to be where you would like to be, but we need to reach back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody is not going to get it. Everybody is not going to want it. But it's not for everybody. It's for those who will not get the chance otherwise.
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree with that.
And what he just said was very powerful. He said, tell me and I will show the others. And it's obvious that he has street credibility. And it's also that he knows what he's talking about. Jason came from a distance and got here. And I respect that hustle. I respect that initiative. I'm not saying no one else has it, but I am going to give it to him because of the communities that he's dealing with. Many of us are not dealing with those communities anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with those communities, you can get dark. But the fact that he's actually leading with love, it shows because he's not dark. You know? So, yeah. See? So, I want, with this, if we could get your social medias.
You can find me on Facebook, JAISONFRAZIER. I'm on Miss Colette's page, and on Instagram, J1000-914. JTHOUSNSAND 914 on Instagram, and I also do comedy. I'm a comedian as well. Yes, so I got shows coming up that I'll post on Instagram and Facebook. You know, some of it's a little vulgar, but it's the real shit. I mean, sorry, the real truth. And I don't talk, and I don't hold no grudges. I talk about my own family, all that. So no, everybody's fair game.
You know what's funny? I just had a comedy show.
I didn't know that.
Next time, next time we got you.
Yeah, we got to rated R.
Next to you're not understanding. It was
do you know how to? Do you incorporate that into your comedy? What we were just talking about. Do you find ways to incorporate? Okay. There you go. All right.
You can find me on Facebook at Randy Braz, B-R-A-Z. On Instagram, it's Randy.Braz. You can find me on Facebook at Randy Braz, B-R-A-Z, and on IG, Randy.Braz.
You could find me on all social media platforms, but my sweet spot, my baby that I'm on all day, every day, live streaming, facebook.com/Odetta King. Again, it's facebook.com/Odetta King. Again, it is facebook.com/Odetta King. It's my name. Or if you go to my website, odettaking.com, you'll find all my social media feeds. I'm very, very active all day, every day. I live in social media because I know that that's where people are. They're scrolling all day when they wake up in the morning, when they're on the toilet, when they're on their lunch break. They're all on social media. Even my mom, Ingrid King, that was her like chatting up on the Zoom. You see?
Hi, Mom.
So I agree with what you said. I'm down for community. I'm down for sharing information. And in fact, maybe, you know, as we connect with each other and stay in touch, you might know something, share it with us. You might know something, share it with us. So this way we could also, you know, be joining each other on initiatives or events that we're going to. And then I want to say the last thing. If everybody has a bank account, which we do, right? We already know the money's not going to double in the bank. Rule of 72 says that. Maybe we don't know what the rule of 72 is, but Rule of 72 says that your money will never double in the bank. We all have either a 401k, a 403b, an IRA, mutual fund. Those things are good, but there's better options. We do not have to lose money. They never told us this, right? And they don't want us to know this, but we do not have to lose money ever. There's strategies out there that will grow with the stock market, but you never lose to the stock market. What are those? Those accounts we educate families on so everybody can get them and everybody can win the money game. So I definitely recommend all of you to get in touch with me. My phone number is 973-842-7927. 973-842-7927. 973-842-7927. You got a bank account, you want to talk to me. You have kids that you care about and you want to set them up to be millionaires in their lifetime, you want to talk to me. Maybe you're going to retire someday. We all want to retire right now. But someday when we retire, the last thing we want to think about is money. We want to make sure that we live out the money, not the money outlive us. Because if the money outlive us, we're going to be in trouble and we're going to be sick and we're not going to get the best of care. So that's my piece. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Nice, definitely. Yeah, so, you know, in closing, my Instagram is VSE1 Suricon. My name, Surakhan. VSE1 Suricon. On Facebook, I'm under Suricon. And my media website is www.suricon.net. Okay. I'm about pooling resources. I'm about creating opportunities for community. We had enough in our budget of this project to hire well-known name actors to do it, and I just flatly refused because I said, I'm out here looking for the next Denzel Washington. I'm out here looking for the next Viola Davis. I'm out here looking to give opportunities to new writers, to new producers, to new directors. It's about creating new opportunities and giving ourselves a chance. There's so many people that want to be heard, and that's what I'm about. I love the people that are out there and doing it, but I'm about discovering the future.
I love it. I love it. I love
That's
it.
that's one of his series coming up there. Definitely. Chambers.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So gotta get familiar.
And it's called Suricon. The
Suricon's the chamber, like Tyler Perry's to this, so the Alfred Hitchcock's to that. It's about branding. You know what I said? I want people to know when you see that name, Suricon, you know what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? And right now, they ain't seen nothing yet.
Ah.
We still on?
We are still on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. I feel really bad for Oyo Paul. He tried. He's. Yeah, but maybe we could have, but we'll see next time. But I want to say that I am thankful for each of you being on the show tonight. I don't think it's by accident that you are all here at the same time. And I would like, before we leave, that everybody gets each other's social media information and also actually follows. What is this? Anyway, sorry. Me and Ants, we do not get along. We do not get along. Anyway, so I want to say this is Colette from Community Connection saying thank you so very much. Continue to be your best and do your best and to be well. And this is Colette signing off.
Definitely. Sure.
Good night. Peace.
Good night. We gotta stop these babies from killing each other.
Yes.
Absolutely.